You were taught to believe that desire grows when you explain yourself better, when you reassure more, when you become emotionally safer, kinder, more available.
That attraction is built through transparency, vulnerability, and consistency. But if that were true, the men who talk the most, justify the most, and try the hardest would be the most desired men alive. They are not. What most men never realize is that the moment attraction dies, it does not die in words. It dies in the body first. In the hesitation before speaking. In the softened tone that seeks permission. In the posture that collapses slightly forward. In the breath that shortens when approval is uncertain. Desire does not disappear because of what you said. It disappears because of what your nervous system communicated before you spoke. There is a silent mechanism running beneath every romantic interaction, a psychological law older than language itself. And until you see it clearly, you will keep losing power without ever understanding why. Let me ask you something, and answer honestly in the comments. Have you ever felt a woman slowly lose interest right after you became more available, more explanatory, more emotionally invested, even though you believed you were doing everything right? Most men don't fail because they lack value. They fail because their internal axis collapses. At first, it is subtle. He listens more than he speaks. He adapts his rhythm to hers. He starts waiting. Waiting for replies, waiting for validation, waiting for emotional confirmation that he is still desired. His body changes before his thoughts catch up. His shoulders tense. His breath becomes shallow. His words gain weight, but not the kind that commands, the kind that begs to be received. This is where respect erodes invisibly, not because he is weak, but because he has abandoned direction. The masculine nervous system is not designed to orbit, it is designed to move forward. When direction disappears, attraction collapses, not as punishment, but as consequence. This is where most men misunderstand female desire. They think desire is a reward for good behavior. But desire is not moral, it is not fair, it is not grateful. Desire responds to structure, not intention. Psychology confirms this quietly. Studies in effective neuroscience show that attraction correlates more with emotional contrast and perceived autonomy than with reassurance or predictability. The brain does not crave safety alone, it craves orientation, a sense that someone is grounded in himself. You feel this truth intuitively. You have felt it when you walked into a room centered, silent, unhurried, and noticed eyes following without effort. And you have felt the opposite when your inner state was fragmented, even if your words were perfect. The difference is not technique, it is internal gravity. Most men live externally oriented. They scan, they adjust, they respond. Their sense of worth is reactive, and reactivity kills polarity. The invisible mistake is not loving too much. It is leading nothing. This is where the ancient misunderstanding of monogamy begins. Men are told that exclusivity is a moral contract, sealed by loyalty and emotional labor. But biologically, bonding was never about promises. It was about function. From an evolutionary psychology perspective, attraction is not sustained by commitment itself, but by the perception that commitment is chosen, not needed. That difference is everything. When a man needs the bond to stabilize his identity, the bond weakens. When a man remains stable without it, the bond strengthens. This is not manipulation, it is regulation. Philosophers understood this long before neuroscience named it. Schopenhauer warned that love is not a union of souls, but an expression of deeper forces moving through individuals for survival and continuity. Not evil, not romantic, simply impersonal. The modern man suffers because he personalizes what was never personal. He interprets loss of attraction as betrayal, as injustice, as failure. But what collapses is not love, it is tension. Tension is created by polarity. Polarity requires direction. Direction demands an internal center. Without it, everything becomes negotiation, and desire does not negotiate. The man who explains too much is not rejected for his words. He is rejected for revealing that he has no internal ground to stand on. This is the turning point. When a man stops trying to be chosen and starts choosing his own orientation, everything changes, not outwardly at first, internally. His breath slows, his gaze steadies, His words shorten but gain weight. He no longer fills silence, he creates it. And silence is where attraction listens. This is the moment where the reactive man dies and the grounded man begins to emerge. The truth most men resist is this: female strategy is not deception, it is adaptation. And masculine collapse happens not because women are cruel, but because men abandon their axis. What women respond to is not dominance, not aggression, not control, but coherence. Neuroscience describes coherence as alignment between emotional regulation, intention, and behavior. When a man is coherent, his presence stabilizes the emotional field around him. When he is fragmented, others feel it instantly, even if they cannot explain why. This is why attraction fades before conflict appears. The body perceives misalignment faster than the mind can rationalize it. The illusion of monogamy collapses when men confuse exclusivity with ownership. Biology never guaranteed permanence, it favored adaptability. What sustains long-term desire is not security alone, but chosen security, the feeling that this man could walk away intact and stays anyway. That perception cannot be faked. It emerges from internal sovereignty. Carl Jung described this process as individuation, the integration of instinct, shadow, and conscious direction into a unified self. A man who has individuated does not seek validation, he seeks alignment. And alignment is magnetic. This is why manipulation fails long-term. It fractures coherence. The nervous system detects it. Trust erodes. True power is quieter. It is the ability to remain centered when uncertainty appears, to pause instead of reacting, to speak from presence instead of fear. The payoff is not control over others, it is control over self. The man who masters this does not chase desire. He becomes a reference point for it. He no longer asks, "Am I enough?" He knows where he is going, with or without approval. This is the real secret behind the title. The hidden truth is not about female nature. It is about male disconnection. When men lose their internal direction, relationships collapse. When men reclaim it, dynamics reorganize naturally. No scripts, no games, no tactics, just internal command. From anxious man to centered man, from reactive man to directing man, from the one who asks to the one who receives without needing. And here is the final paradox. When a man no longer needs to be chosen, he becomes impossible to ignore. If there is a path forward, it is not through chasing understanding, but through reprogramming the internal system that governs presence, emotion, and direction. Not motivation, not affirmation, but a method, a code, a system of internal mastery. Because the man who governs himself no longer negotiates with the world. He moves through it. And that is a truth that does not ask to be believed. It reveals itself through consequence,